alongside producer engineer Mike Sell and my co-commentator Steve Coltonbaugh. This is Adam Schechter coming to you live from the Potomac Curling Club here in Laurel, Maryland. Welcome to the signature event here at Potomac, the Cherry Blossom Bonspiel. Steve, it's good to have you along. Are you sure things working over there? I think it should be. We'll try that one. Now go.
How's that?
There you go.
All right, now you guys can hear me.
All right, so we have action underway here at the 7:15 draw. Though our feature game, we are waiting for one of the teams to arrive. Perhaps they got stuck in traffic or something. It's brutal out there.
It really is.
So we will bring you Emily Nichols versus Art Heuer in a moment. But for now, we'll go and take some look at the live action going on the different sheets. We have Steven Enixon and Millet, which we'll try and get names as we go along the broadcast. That's over on sheet A. We have Laura Heuer and Stapora on sheet C. And Robinson versus Fallon Without Fallon over on sheet D. So.
Yeah, unfortunately Jimmy Fallon couldn't make it, so hopefully they'll be able to round themselves out.
Right, so Fallon Without Fallon, which is now Breen. So it looks like Brian Breen is taking over tonight for Jimmy. But now we'll get to some action over on sheet C here at Potomac.
Looks like Laura Heuer took the Red Rocks, and I don't believe they have the hammer. I thought I saw Curtis Brooks slide out the first game.
All right. So we start off with two guards here, one behind the other. Of course, first end ice here at Potomac can be a little on the slow side, but here comes Curtis Brooks out with his second shot of the end.
Oh, they're sweeping it.
So right now it's looking going to the outside of the sheet. And that too looks like it will end up as a guard.
Another nice guard, yeah.
Looks like there'll be some drawn behind over for Stapera. And wait for that shot to develop before the sweepers get on it.
Just wait, just wait. Just wait.
Yeah, I think you're going to be okay.
It will make its way to roughly the top 8, biting the top 4.
Yep.
That's what you got to do. So now looks like they're going to draw down to it. Heuer is asking for about hack weight. So do want to apologize in advance. We're going to work on getting team rosters and things like that as we go on. Sadly, we are without them, so
we're just kind of guessing right now.
We will play it as it goes. This is a beautiful shot past those red guards, bumping out that yellow rock, now firmly becoming the only, of course, shot rock.
Control weight.
All right.
Control weight.
All right. Yes, we have our rosters on sheet C here.
Thank you, Enrique. Enrique Penich running around, getting us some rosters.
Touch outside.
So now we are up to.
Yeah, this is Laura's team again. Wait, no, sorry. It's Stapera's team.
Yep. So
I believe this is Ryan Damon, if I've got my math right.
You are indeed correct.
And Laura Heuer's team, they are playing the Red Rocks. Lead Curtis Brooks. The second, Lisa Ann. Vice, Stacy, is it Slett? And the skip, Laura Heuer.
More than he wanted, or
for Team Stapera, the lead is Ron Cohen. They're playing the Yellow Rocks. The lead is Ron Cohen. The second, Ryan Damon. Vice, Nancy Worth. And the skip is Jack Stapera.
All right, so Brian Damon just missed with his takeout attempt. So now it looks like Heuer is going to try and guard it up. Or nudge.
I think they're trying to nudge their own.
That other red. Either way, it does crash a little bit and winds up building that wall.
That's very nice. It'll be tough to draw around that.
So, yeah, well, they're not going to try that. It looks like he's going to try and blow up that front. If you can get it right between those two rocks down there, definitely take them both. Try and open up the front. Maybe get more.
Oh, yeah, they're on that.
Some heavy, relatively heavy takeout weight.
Definitely get one.
And it looks like that clears out the center of those guards, the one that was actually just last thrown. Certainly to your benefit when you're able to, without hammer, go and get one in the house, get some stuff up front, really junk it up and just hold on. It's a strategy that is tried and true that I've done time and time again.
Yes, you have. Here comes Nancy Worth.
Where is it?
The vice for Team Stapera.
Other way, dude.
Oh, other way?
That's Stacy.
Oh, sorry. we gotta mark down what color they're using. That'll be easy, right? There we go.
All right, so they successfully got their stone into the back 8. Now again, it looks like Stapera is trying to get at that shot rock.
Yeah, they've got a decent opening now, though.
It's got to be in the house. Do not get up.
And it's away.
They won it in the house. They're sweeping the card.
And letting it work, and now it's coming back. Now they're sweeping it down there. It looks like it will
Solid shot.
take out that red stone. Sitting shot.
It's close, but yes, I think yellow has shot.
It looks like yellow has shot. So, very nice shot from Nancy Worth.
Stacy's coming back for her second stone.
And that is up weight, and it is hooking immediately right off the stick. That, by the way, is Lisa Andrew. Somehow the order is reversed. Apologize for that.
My first one was 50 something. My second one was 80. So, where was the room? Here? Oh, yeah.
Right on it.
There they are. Attempting to go.
So they just want to bump theirs up a little bit.
Looks that way.
And it looks like it was successful. Oh, wait.
It wasn't successful as a bump, but it was.
Just a little too heavy. Carry knocks the one in the house out the back.
Yeah. So Laura's pondering her skip shot. It looks like with her first stone, she's going to try and come around to the other side of that yellow stone, to the outside of it. Bump out the yellow and roll behind. And try and sit 2 here with her first skip stone here in the first end. And they're preparing for just that, talking about the weight and everything else that they're looking to do. It's tricky coming out first end as a skip.
You never quite know how the ice is going to be.
No, especially as a skip. You have a very, very difficult time trying to figure out what weight you yourself should be throwing. after calling it for 6 stones. That shot will indeed take out the yellow stone.
Very nice.
And roll out. So that 1 stone in the house does give Stepora some options.
Yeah, he should be able to throw a decent takeout. If he wants, he can try to bump up his guard, or he can simply just try to draw the button.
Could do that. He could freeze to that back red one. Too many different things.
Yeah, that back one's still biting, so he is sitting second.
At this point in time, just trying to figure out how to get his 2. So, Ainsworth holds the broom for Jack Stepera, preparing his first skip stone. And that stone is away. It's got about at least back line, almost hack weight. Maybe a little more. Goes past their guard and
very nice.
Bumps that red, but that red is still in shot rock position.
Didn't get quite enough on it.
Nope. So now Laura's trying to debate and figure out what she wants to do with her final stone. Looks like they're trying to figure out where in the house they want to draw it to. Either play the top 12, perhaps try and draw behind into the 8-foot. It looks as though they will settle for that shot at the top of the house. Try and cut off some draws, trying to cut off a lot of the ways that Jack can try and score. All right, so Laura's shot is away. Waiting for it. And it goes a little bit deep. In fact,
maybe too deep.
Swept right out.
That's not what she's looking for.
So now Jack Stepera will go and skate down and try and actually come from the outside and nose hit that red rock and wind up sitting 2 for this end and get 2 points on the board in the first. Always a nice thing.
Absolutely.
Looks like some of the other games have concluded their first end, so we'll give you some updates as we have them. For now, here is the final shot of the first end. And they are working it. And they're off. Let's see what happens. It looks like it is falling to the outside.
Yeah, they should knock it.
Coming
but I'm not
back.
Sure do what they want.
Bring it, yeah.
And it will knock out that red stone, leaving the little backbiter in the back of the 12-foot as the only counter in this end. So with that, Jack Stepera takes a 1-0 lead on Laura Heuer after 1 end. In other action, while they get set up on sheet A, Stephen Enixon took 3 points, or stole 3 points, my apologies, over Millett. And on sheet D,
Who's playing red?
Robinson is red. on sheet D, and Robinson
They
scored.
stole 2.
Stole 2 on Fallon minus Fallon.
It's okay.
All right, action coming down the first stone of the second end on our feature bout here in sheet C. They're sweeping it hard, making sure it's not going to haul. Looks like a nice center guard there.
That is. Steve, you should know a thing or two about center guards. I ask you to throw them all the time.
Absolutely. I hit with, what, about 30–40% accuracy?
Give yourself a little more credit. And here's someone who's no stranger to being lead, Curtis Brooks.
Oh, no.
Loves throwing lead stones. And he is asked to throw, looks like a corner guard. Curtis with one of the more unique deliveries here at Potomac. Ride the magic carpet.
Yep.
Down the sheet.
He likes staying up instead of leaning in. Hey, whatever works for you.
We all got our style, but that rock looks like it's going to be a little bit deep. And make it.
I think it might stick in the back of the house.
Looks that way.
We're working it hard.
It looks like it's biting.
Yep, it's biting. Jackson Parra calling for another guard. Just on the other side of the center line.
Definitely sound strategy without hammer. Try and set up your guards up front. Try and draw one behind. That one also looks a little heavy out of the hand. The sweepers have not touched it. Seem to be just waiting. They're cleaning. They're also waiting for it to come back to the center line.
And it's not doing a whole lot of curling.
It
Oh, there
is.
it goes. A lot of late action there.
There's some late bite, but that is now in the house in the top of the 8, right along the center. So good finish there on that stone. It was just a trifle bit heavy for what Sapera wanted. So now Heuer's asking Curtis to throw some up weight. So take that one out and roll it over to the right side of the sheet, towards the outside.
And give him a nice setup.
Yeah. Shots away. And again, there's very little sweeping on this. Now they're on it. And now they're up.
And they've got to let it curl. With that late action, it's a little tough to catch it. But I think they've got it right where they want it.
That was a great, very nice shot there from Curtis as the yellow rock lazily glides past the back line. So it looks like Sapera will follow it up with a takeout of his own. Keep the end and keep the sheet kind of clean. Without hammer, very sound strategy. So this is Ron Cohen with his second rock of the second end. And they are just watching it.
Exactly what he wanted.
Yeah.
I think this might be a takeout war.
Yep. So now Lisa Andrew will go and go ahead and stick a takeout. It is, no, I think Stacey actually was not here yet, so she just showed up. She is now sweeping with Curtis.
Ah, gotcha. Thank you.
That shot hits the inside and rolls out. Leaving a very empty house.
Yes, now that Jack doesn't have to play a takeout, he can play pretty much whatever he wants.
He's looked like he's going to try and set up a center guard. Again, try and get some stuff set up in the house.
Yeah. It looked like he was going to draw behind.
You could. You could always try that, especially with a guard up front. Try and put some pressure on the opposing skip to deal with it. You can also try and go and get one right on the center line, which is what he's looking for. That rock is coming in a little bit heavy. They're chasing it down the ice. They're waiting for it to do a lot of things. Curl, stop, break, yield.
And it is not doing any of those things.
It's not.
Try a little back sweeping, didn't quite work out.
I neglected to remember, because our vantage point does not necessarily have this back part of the sheet visible very well, there actually is a red rock back there.
Yeah. I believe that was Curtis's first.
It was. So there's
Just
still one red. Because now what you can do, if you're Laura and you're trying to do this, is get your rock behind cover, try and sit 2. And even if you just trade takeouts the rest of the end, you've got 2. This is Lisa Andrews' second. Is gliding
nicely.
Makes its way to the tee. Goes a little back 12. So now what you've done, you've now got 2 in the house. Normally you don't want him behind tee that much, but you're making Jack really deal with this and not try and get his guards and other things set up. So he's going to try and draw in to outcount those red rocks on the 12-foot.
This is Nancy, yes?
So Nancy Worth with her first stone of the end.
Looks like a good weight. They just needed to curl. And here it comes.
Yes, now. Go to halfway.
And it's sitting
in the top 8.
nicely in the top 8.
Exactly what they were looking for.
Again, that late finish that you can use to your advantage, that sheet C is now giving you coming this way. Here's Stacy.
Looks like Laura wants another takeout.
I don't know about that.
Well, that's what she called.
Did she?
Yep.
That was a lot of ice for a takeout. So they're waiting to move on it. They don't really.
They're counting on that late finish, but I don't think that's got the weight for them.
Looks like it will nudge that yellow stone a little bit.
The yellow rock's still out counting.
It is. But you've now put that yellow rock out of cover.
That's right.
It's more visible, so nothing wrong with that. You've also set it up where if you nose this takeout, it sets up a double, possibly.
Goodness knows I love the double.
Luke is not, but they are aggressively sweeping this stone as it comes. It is breaking hard before the hog.
Ooh, looks like it's going to crash.
It will crash on the guard. But actually it will not end up being a bad stone for him as it bounces off that yellow, yes?
So they're sitting shot at third stone now.
So Stacy now will call for the takeout so that she can sit 1 and 2. Certainly many ways to accomplish this. Looking for a hack weight takeout to try and curl it right to the other side of that yellow stone towards the center line, hit it and bounce right to the middle.
That's away.
It is a little heavier than hack.
Yeah, they're just chasing it now. They're not touching it at all.
Nope. Let's see if Stacy can get a little piece.
Oh, just a nudge. Oh.
It's a nudge, and we'll take out their stone in the back house.
Now we get it.
That is not.
Still got Team Paris at first and third stone on this one.
And it looks like he's going to try and guard up with his first stone. Certainly without hammer, it's not a terrible place to be. If you go out and call guards for yourself,
Oh, certainly.
always means you're in a good spot.
Yes. Anytime you can make the other skip work, it's a good day.
It's usually my strategy. So we will go ahead and watch this first skip stone from Jack Stopera. I'm realizing that I think this Stopera rink is mislabeled. There's a few names that seem amiss. That said, that weight looks like plenty for a guard. Looks like they're on it for a line. And wait, as that really struggles to try and cross the hog, but it's there.
Just barely.
And where that is along the center, it's not too bad at all.
Could be so much worse.
Could be very worse.
It looks like Sheet B is going to be getting started.
I guess so.
Fairly shortly. And we will get you those rosters. Oh, my apologies. On Sheet B, we have we actually have a forfeit. So, yeah, Henrique just told me Sheet B was a forfeit.
Oh, they're going to forfeit the game. I see.
Unfortunate, but that's how things go sometimes.
All right, well, then we'll keep it right here on Sheet C. Give you some other updates as we have them. Looks like Sheet A, Enixon versus Millet. They're on skip stones right now, with one redstone in the back four that Enixon will take out.
And that will open up. Looks like there are 3 yellow stones already in.
Put some
house.
pressure.
Oh yeah.
On the Millet team. Over on this, on Sheet C, our feature game right now, looks like Laura Heuer will try the same shot that Stacy just tried to do. Stacy is calling for sweeping almost immediately.
Hoping to get around the guards.
Yeah, it looks like the they will crash on the guards. It looks like that right side of the sheet as you come back to the warm room here at Potomac is really hooking more than they realize, even on takeouts. So with that, it looks like Stopera will go and guard up again. Be content to lock up that one for now. Really make it difficult for Laura to get anything going. Final stone for Jack Stopera is out. As it looks like we got a pickup game going on. So.
Yeah, they said they were just practicing.
Sounds good. All right, again, that guard's going to be relatively high. And sit really nicely.
Thank you, Enrique.
Make sure it's tight.
Yep.
Here, the mixed doubles line.
Sheet A, Team Millet took 1 in the second end. We've got 3-1 now.
All right. And Sheet D is still playing at second end.
There's a lot of junk in that house in Sheet D.
There's a lot of rocks over there on Sheet D. That's pretty impressive. Though there is only one yellow shot rock. All right, meanwhile, over here, Laura Heuer is going to attempt again to get that yellow stone out of play. Must be peaking enough from her hack where she feels like she can have it.
But with that late finish, she's got a decent shot.
She's got a chance at it, and certainly just peeling that rock is fine because her second shot is nicely tucked away and guarded. They are not sweeping this one.
Clears the guards. Oh, what's a miss?
Miss.
So it'll be 1 yellow.
Yep.
Team Stopera.
Team Stopera now takes a 2-0 lead after 2 ends. Here on the feature game right now at the Cherry Blossom Bonspiel, live from the National Capital Curling Center, home of the Potomac Curling Club.
Beautiful Laurel, Maryland.
it going. We're on it. I know. Keep it going.
Right now, we're going to keep it here
Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going.
as they get their lead rocks sewn up.
Wipe out of the line. Right here. Get far away, go ahead.
And the first lead rock is away here in the third end. There's a lot of action on it. A lot of sweeping.
Another solid center guard.
All right. Life is always better when you have center guards to play with.
Too true. Too true. Here comes Curtis.
Back
Brooks.
out. Back out.
Not a whole heck of a lot of handle on that one.
Nope, that is a Curtis special. In fact, it almost looks like a reverse handle as it goes down. Very lazy handle.
But look at Earl.
It's going down to the left side and shoot towards the outside. And that one will be a guard. Nice corner guard set up.
Wait for the girl. Wait for the girl.
Stapera will now use his center guard to draw it behind. That shot is away.
Quick scoring update on sheet D. Team Fallon minus Fallon was able to pick up one in the second end.
All right.
So they're now down 2-1. Although they are winning the contest from best curling points.
A lot of awesome pants over there on sheet D. I know Jimmy Fallon owns a few himself. So.
Football fashion is important.
All right. Now I got two center guards set up. Two yellow center guards set up now. Curtis will throw his. Looks like he's going to try and draw.
I think they're on it pretty hard.
Yeah, it's pretty light. That looked light out of Curtis' hand.
Trying to go down the right side. Is he making it? I can't quite tell.
Yes, line.
Oh, this is over the hog.
Yeah, bring it in. Yes. Yes, hard. No roll. Yeah.
And now this looks like Brian Damon, the second for Stapera. He'll ready his first shot of the end.
They're on it quick.
They definitely are.
Big shot got past Curtis's guard. Looks like he's drawn.
Except that will hit on front guard. So again, a lot of stuff up front for Stapera, and now Heuer's trying to figure out a plan.
She's going to try to skirt all of those guards to get into the house.
That looks like what she's trying to do.
Yeah, give me a draw. Okay.
See if they can come around that.
Okay.
So Lisa Andrews' first shot is heading down the sheet. Seems like both teams are having a little difficulty with weight this end.
I think they were able to tell the ice a lot easier coming back.
Well, that shot will wreck on one of the guards and continue to junk it up.
Still have nothing in the house.
Nope.
Full 4 foot. It's all there.
All right, so it looks like another draw is being called for. Looks like they're trying to draw around all of that stuff up front. There's a pretty big hole for Brian Damon to draw through. That weight looks again a little bit light.
Yeah, they're sweeping it just to get past the red guard.
Looks like
Crashed in the other guard. Can't quite tell if he made it in the house yet, though.
looks like they have a biter now.
All right.
Looks like they did clip one as a biter. So that does clear up the front a little bit. And trying to draw. There's a lot of curl now on sheet C. Looks like she's trying to draw to the other side of the 4-foot and putting that broom on the opposite 12-foot. It's a long way to go, but
the sheet's giving it to her.
it is. Sheet C around here has definitely been playing curvy. That one, however, was a little bit heavy and goes right through.
Good lines, a little touch heavy on the end.
Just a little bit.
But if nothing else, now they've got the line.
What do you like? I don't like this here. I hate that rock. That rock is no good.
Okay, so this is Nancy Worth of Vice for Team Stapera stepping up.
Nice and easy.
And again, look at the draw in, trying to put some rocks in the house. It's one of those ends where if you're the team that can wind up in the house first, you have a significant advantage because the other teams are having a lot of difficulty. And that one is
Making it past all the guards.
in the house and make it to the top of the 4-foot.
Very nice.
So now we'll go try a hit and roll. Take that yellow rock out of play and roll it past into all that nonsense there on the left side. So here's Stacy with her first rock. Hoping that one's gonna come back. That's about board weight.
It's going to crash.
No, it's not gonna crash. It'll crash and roll and be right on the right side of the sheet behind some cover.
Yeah, it'll be a lot tougher to knock that one out. There's not a whole lot of room.
There's not, but it does look like there's a little bit of a hole. A little bit of a hole for Nancy to try and throw through. But it looks instead that they are drawing, my mistake. They're trying to draw to be shot rock to that opening in the middle. They're working that hard, both sweepers. And that will crash on one of the front guards and wind up at the just about top 12.
Can't quite tell if that's biting or not.
No.
It's not.
Couldn't quite tell what the called shot is. Looks like a guard. So they say 2-3 looks like. Waiting for that to move a little bit.
First player.
I got most of it.
And that will bump the last Yellowstone into shot position. So a little bit heavy there.
Yellow once again sitting first and third stone.
now that puts Super in a fantastic position to guard up and
Hopefully protect that one player.
looking that way.
Never plan B.
So the game itself so far has been pretty simple.
Pretty quiet. No major fireworks here.
Not as of yet. We're in the third end only. So Super's first rock is away. They're going to not touch it at all. And that rock will.
Easy guard. Seven guard.
It is going to crash a little bit on that red stone at the top, just past the hog line.
So it'll be tough sledding if you're trying to get that shot right.
It is. There's certainly some plays. They do have a red stone in front that they can try and tap back. And it looks like they're trying to size that up. Where you can hit that red stone, that'll knock out the yellow shot stone, and then they sit two. So we're trying to figure out which way to do that. They're also examining other options. The tap ups there, I'm a fan of it.
Oh yeah, because you've got a lot of margin for error if you're able to do a successful tap. You can knock the yellow one out, or if you nose it, you can just take a shot.
So looks like they're trying to figure out which way to go, from which side. A lot of discussion. So it's not.
Red's got the hammer, right?
Yes,
Okay.
they do.
They don't make this shot. I think Super is probably just going to guard up and try to muck things up in front of the house even more.
Certainly would try that strategy, especially with all of the stones up front. Heuer is sitting at second shot. That's not really going anywhere. There are a few plays at it, but nothing that's really reasonable. And it looks like we had a slightly moved stone. Looks like Laura tripped on it on her way.
It's all right. No harm, no foul.
Well, hopefully they got it back in the right spot.
Looks like Laura's going to try to tap back. As you suspected.
Meanwhile, over on sheet B, we have a pickup game going on. Art Heuer versus Michael Dobbs. Pickup game. Hewer's first shot is on its way. They're calling for it to be slapped. That is hooking a lot. It's going to hit it on the other side of the stone. And that's going to go out of play, or at least out of the scoring rings, into the proverbial dead zone.
Looks like we got another 2 points for Team Enixon on sheet A. So your score there now, Team Enixon yellow 5, Team Miller 1.
That's after 3 ends over there on sheet A. Over here on sheet C, Steparin is content to try and muck up the front of the house even more and just throw another guard.
Guard is plan A.
And cut off any kind of tap backs or anything else to be shot.
No, not at all. Any roll, any roll.
Guard is plan A. Troy is plan
There it
B.
is. It does look a little bit heavy for a guard, but they are sweeping it.
Give me a 3 only.
Not as heavy as I think, as it gets over the hog line.
Fits nicely inside that fork.
Here's the curl. That's Mike's phone out. That's probably true. You're right.
So that leaves Heuer with basically one other tap up, and that would be the left side if you're looking down the sheet. Skips right. So it looks like they will try and promote that red guard. Hit it right, you can tap out that yellow stone and get 2. You also can get shot rock from this kind of a play. So we'll see what she does with hammer here in the 3rd end. Some good weight. And they are sweeping it. That looks pretty tough. They have swept that, but they have swept it
Not nearly as
to
much.
the left side of the rock. So that never really made it, never really had a chance over there. So Stepera will take or steal another point in the 3rd.
That scores Stepera 3, Heuer 0.
That it is.
Heading into the 4th end now.
In a game where the game right now, it's pretty basic. Stepera's been able to get a rock in shot position, just guarded up. Heuer is yet to be able to force the action yet.
Follow my heart.
Looks like a pretty standard center guard here. He's taking more ice than he did in the second end.
Yep, expecting nearly 6 feet or so of curl.
Because I think we're 2.
Keep up with this line.
It's over. It'll be about a 1.5, nearly a 2 guard. Right on the center.
Right down to it.
So Curtis again trying to set up something.
Center line, so looks like it's headed to the left side of the house.
Looks like they're trying to do a nice corner guard. It's curling quite a bit. So it is guarding, but it's guarding more the outside of the edge of the 8 to the 12 foot.
Looks like both teams have a good bead on how much it's curling.
Meanwhile, the second lead stone's away.
Just for weight.
And that will go past the hog. And start breaking very nicely towards top 12. Yep, into the top 8, biting the 4 foot, right along the center. Very nicely buried behind that.
side of the house.
A little curious. You probably could have come for a little less weight. So Curtis is actually just ignoring the stone for now. And they are trying to draw in behind Curtis's guard. And it looks like that'll be a successful shot if that can get just a little more there, and it will.
Right into the 12, very nice.
Right behind cover.
Another score update for you on Sheet D. Team Robinson with the Redstones has picked up 2 in the third end. So they now lead Team Fallon minus Fallon 4-1 going to Team 4.
All right. Guessing Fallon will not be happy with that result.
Well, there's still plenty of curling left to do.
So here is Brian Damon the second for Team Stapera, and his first stone is on its way. Now it looks like it will curl around the front top guard and rest.
12 and into the 8th.
It will freeze up pretty much right up to the the other yellow stone there at the top of the forefoot. Now Lisa Andrew will try and take them both.
Laura's calling for a double.
Double, boil in trouble. That is up weight. And they're sweeping it, working it, trying to get it past the guard. Well, it looks like a little crash.
Knocked out the guard, which is good, but they missed the double.
It's all right, you open it up.
Make it easier for next shot.
And now you're trying.
And you force Team Stapera to put that guard right back.
Sure.
The angle's a little tighter. Tuck into the guard.
So definitely nothing wrong with that call. A lot of good positive results could happen. So knocking the guard out is certainly a positive play.
Oh, yes.
So they'll try and put that guard back up, sit 2. That one looks like it is definitely good guard weight. It might actually be a smidge heavy. Waiting again for that late action, which is now breaking.
He's trying to get it into the house. Yep, it's biting. Nope, it's all the way full into 12.
It's a full 12. Looks like it will possibly outcount that redstone that is in the top 10. Looks like. So now looks like Laura's going for about bumper weight for this Andrew, trying to take out
Pretty much any of those.
something of any of those stones.
They are not touching it at all. They don't need to.
So that takes out the last shot that was thrown. Still sitting 2 in the house. As they're getting closer to Vice Rocks. In fact, we're at Vice Rocks with Nancy Worth.
Yeah, I can tell Nancy pretty much did the exact same thing.
Sure.
Right up at the top of the house.
Until things change in the house, it looks like the strategy is pretty automatic. And that's really been the way of it this game, is that Heuer has not been able to get that takeout or make that shot to make Stapera really work.
Yes, Stapera just takes control of the house early in the end and then plays defense.
Yep.
And is more than happy to take that 1 point. So far 1 point. We'll see if he can
That is exactly how I played when I was at the Dykes Memorial a few weeks ago. 1 or 2 of the games, just held on for dear life. So it looks like this shot will also rest in the house. It nudges one of the other stones. Now they're sitting 3.
It's definitely a double possibility there. Needs some fair weight here, though.
Definitely need some up weight. Stacy's capable of that. That is a rocket coming down the sheet.
That is big girl weights.
Hey, if you leave it a little light, that's fine too.
And they are working it, and we'll hit 1.
He took out one, out-counted the other. So Team Supera is still sitting a shot, but right now they're only sitting one.
That is, and actually is a good position for Heuer to be in, as you can go after that red rock and hit the yellow one behind it, knock that out of play if you have that open, and sit 2. So let's see if Supera is able to guard his stone.
Waiting on that late action again.
That they are. Being very patient about it. That's looks like it's got at least house weight.
I think they might be looking to freeze right on the red rock.
It will finish as a freeze, in fact, or just off of it, nudged it. So there's a lot of options here. Thinking about it, looks like they will try and go for a takeout. In fact, hit up their own red, I think.
Yeah, I think it's going to be just trying to blow the whole thing up.
Oh, hit the red.
Oh yes, they're on it quickly.
They are right out of the hand. In fact, that is bending a lot over the center line.
Oh,
And now we'll knock the other redstone out of play and Stacy just through and break up the house, splitting it for Supera. He's hitting one.
Not sure about that second one.
Not quite sure about the second one. It looks like his yellow second one is second shot, but
Yes.
slightly difficult to tell from our angles. They are not perfect. Regardless, it looks like the guard is on tap for Supera's first skip rock.
This kind of does both. Yeah, so that's perfect.
Adam, as a skip, is there any better feeling than being able to throw guards?
No. There's certainly a lot of other better feelings. You know, having an open draw for 5, things like that. I mean, sure, but when you're playing defense and you're without hammer, if you're to the point where you can go ahead and throw some guards, you've really been able to show that you've made your shots this end and the other team is not, which is how it's been playing out the last almost 3 ends in this game.
Yeah, Team Supera has been really, really solid with their guards, with their draws, with their takeouts.
Looks like this one will end up in the house. They're working it, waiting to see what it's going to do as it finishes, and it will finish lined up next to their other stone and bounce to the 4-foot. So it's a little nerve-wracking, that kind of a shot, because yeah, you're sitting 3, but
there's enough room there.
There's enough. You can throw it right at the space between the 2 and get them both. You might be able to clear all.
I'm not sure if you can clear out all 3.
You're not going to clear all 3 with that shot. I was looking at the wrong perspective on the house cam.
I think actually if you split those 2, you might end up taking out your own red as well.
You could. It looks like they're trying to line up a shot that goes across and bounces from one stone to the other. They are very mindful of getting that red stone and keeping it in play. They certainly don't want to jam. So they're trying to figure out what the angles are. It's delicate trying to get that left stone out of there without hitting it.
Yeah. Hard and heavy.
It's possible. You can certainly, there's an angle there just off center. The fear, of course, is that it won't bounce back and hit this one. It won't hit the shot rock in the end.
On the upside, taking 2 out, you still got hammer.
You do, and at this point you definitely want to get some points on the board at this rate. And it looks like that's what Laura's going to do, is try and go at least for 1, probably both. and hope that she doesn't clip her own stone out of play. They'll go and wait. Their first skip stone. And that is upweight. And State's calling a sweep immediately. And they are working it all the way down. It's the shot rock. Does not sit shot. Looks like that Yellowstone is in fact shot. Yeah, it looks like that yellow has more of the red 4-foot circle than that red stone.
One of the things he was discussing is knocking out that back red stone in the house and flopping behind.
Yeah. Well, in this case, you could go ahead and take out that red stone that more or less makes Laura try and hit for one somehow. You're not really getting a draw out of this. At least not an easy one.
Nice shot, Joe.
So here is Tapera with his second skip stone to this end. And that is coming down with some takeout weight. They are sweeping it. Sweeping it as hard as they can. As that gets to the center line, hits the red stone.
Exactly what they wanted.
Exactly what they wanted to do. So now it's a case of how do you want to try and play this. The way, if you are able to hit the shot rock and nose it, make it stick around, you'll get one. You can also try and draw behind, which is the option that they're contemplating. You can in off your red stone. The fear, of course, that if you were to nose and take out their stone, that you would actually not be shot or your stone rolls out. So a lot of dangers. Looks about 3. 2 for sure. 3 is pretty close. So it looks like they will in fact go for a takeout of the shot stone, if not more. So here is Hammer in the 4th end. Sets it up. And that is away. Stumbles a little bit. Stacy's calling for it to be swept. And it looks like they're trying the in off. And it will hit and roll right out for 3. So with that, Team Stopera will steal again, this time stealing 3. It's a 6 to 0. Meanwhile, over on sheet A, they are through 4 ends. Looks as though Enixon stole a point in the 4th. And so he is up. Looks like about 6 to 1. Yeah?
I think so. Yes, 6 to 1.
Yeah. And they are finishing the 4th end over on sheet D.
Yeah, make sure it's here.
They're on skip stones at the moment on sheet D. Brian Green is delivering his first.
In the meantime, back on our feature contest on sheet C. Another nice guard. To match up.
All right, so Curtis will throw his first stone. And it looks like that somehow reversed and bumped the first guard thrown.
Like you said, the old Craig special.
It's a sticky point of the game. We're now down 6-0 into the 5th end. You got to try and make things happen. And Stepera is going to basically try and draw in and force more of a simple game. So right now, the second lead stone is diving across from right to left in our vantage point. Goes behind cover and is being swept, looks like, to about the tee. Nope, not quite to the tee.
Not quite to the tee, no.
Top 4.
No, it's top 8.
Yeah, top 8.
Yeah, go ahead. Yes. All the way. All the way.
So now it looks like Curtis will try and draw to out count it. And his first shot is there. He actually might be either freezing to it or trying to outdraw it. And they're not touching it. It's not breaking nearly as much as the other stone.
Oh, there it goes.
Might be a little too late, as that was heavy and it's being swept out by Stepera. So comes the rest at the back 12. So Stepera will now call for one in the top 12. Starting to cut down the options that Heuer has. At this point in time with Hammer, Heuer really needs at least 2, maybe 3 points to try and get back in this game. So one thing that they've been able to do on the Stepera ring is just stop any kind of momentum.
Absolutely.
Some great front end play, as that shot will basically more or less freeze up to the first stone there.
Very nice. You're right. The front end for Team Stepera has just been fantastic.
This way? I think we can get through this hole. Yeah. Let's come through the hole here.
All right, so Laura is again trying to draw in to B shot stone. Looks like the weight on that is pretty good. It actually might be a tad heavy as they keep pacing it down. Waiting for the brakes on that stone.
It's like Jeff is sweeping it and
Nudges out the other stone that Curtis had thrown and sits back house. Currently third stone. I think he's putting some more stuff up the front, maybe the top 12 along the center line. And that shot is head down. They are working it. Getting it to the center line. A very nice position.
good protection for its mid-stones already in the house.
It is, but now you have the basically the center, the button available to you because now it's guarded. So it looks like we'll try and draw to there. Kadir Curtis yell out 5, thinking that's going to go to the back of the 4-foot, or sorry, front of the 4-foot. They are. Looks like that's died a little bit on the way. In fact, that did.
Died quite a bit.
It did end up as a guard. Quite a miscalculation on the weight. You go from a 5 to a 2. That's a pretty drastic difference.
Yeah.
So now you got basically staggered guards up front along the center. And Stepera's going to go ahead and either draw in or at least put some more junk in the front.
How's the way? Yeah. Fine, all the way. All the way.
They're on it.
All the way. All the way. Whoa. Come on, finish it off. Finish it off.
He's off like a girl. Make sure I got around all the guards.
Nice over there.
Nice finish.
Good finish. Looks like they're just outside of the house. But in a very good spot.
Good for blocking any kind of books that Heuer wanted to try to mess with.
Yeah, so now with all these stones up front, there's not a lot of red stones out there that are guards that could easily be promoted. So you're going to try and earn your points by drawing in. That.
Trying to hook down that right side.
Yep.
They're on it. It needs the weight. It still needs the curl.
Looks like the weight is there. Let's see where that ends up. And that will be swept back to the back 12. We'll come to rest. Fighting the back 12.
Yeah! Up! That's the line call.
In the background, you can hear Art Heuer, very happy with himself. Brother. Nancy Worth now with her second stone, I believe, is 5th end. Again, just putting up front. So it is a very high guard. Looks like it'll end up at about a 2.5 or so. Certainly nothing wrong with that play.
Yellow is currently sitting 2, yes?
Yellow is comfortably 2 in this 5th end. So these are one of those situations where you can make a play where you become very draw happy, and what you do is you wind up cluttering the front so much, and then there's not an easy way to try and clear out that front. You get stuck just trying to get to make shot rock and to try and at least get yourself on the board and to try and outcount whatever the other team is doing.
They're not even in a good position to try to blow everything up.
No.
They're just going to keep trying to draw it behind.
So it looks like that's what they are attempting to do. They're sweeping it, trying to get it past the high yellow guard, which it does, and now it looks like they're sweeping it for weight as well. That's got a ways to go. That too will end up on the top of the 12-foot circle. Not really out counting much anything at this point. It's been a tough game for Heuer, and when you get to skip stones and there's not a lot of good options for you, you know, it's a team sport, and so when your team isn't able to make those shots that it needs to, especially in succession, while your opposition certainly is throwing rather well, and even ones that are short or other mistakes that they're making is certainly benefiting them. It's definitely difficult to play. As Teper will go and throw his first stone of this end.
Making sure it's going to get around those guards.
So that one will end up on the outside guard.
That takes away an important
So Heuer is, again, does not appear to have much to shoot at. You do possibly have that draw. I'm not 100% sure that you can get it to the 4 foot. There is plenty of curl on that side of the ice, so.
There is, but it's been a tough draw. They've pretty much missed it the last 4 or 5 rounds.
It just doesn't seem like it's one of those tantalizingly just frustrating lines where every time you think you have it and every time you think that that's the right line and that's the right ice for your call, it just doesn't happen. And you try it time and time again, and you're left wondering why in the world you can't make that shot no matter how many times you attempt it.
And eventually just run out of stones.
You do.
Quick scoring update on sheet D. Team Fallon minus Fallon was able to take 1 in the 4th end.
There's a lot of rocks in play at the end of that.
Oh yeah, so going into the 5th end there, it's Robinson 4, Fallon minus Fallon 2.
Meanwhile, here is Laura Heuer's first stone of the 5th end.
Going for the draw.
They are. See the hand motions to try and sweep it. And that actually will nudge and promote that red stone into shot position.
Great shot.
So there you go. So it's a double promote or a double run back. Tap, tap, tap. Just remember, taps are not just for kegs in curling. Plenty of tapping here.
Oh, of course. It's a good friend. Chip says that was the whack.
Now here's Teper is going to try and more or less do the same thing.
That's heavy.
To try and tap his Yellowstone and knock out the red stone that was just promoted in. And he's prepared to throw his last stone of this 5th end. That's a pretty nice weight there. Looks like about backboard or so. They
haven't touched it yet.
Touched it at all.
It's like they're going to try to bounce off theirs.
Now they bounced off their own, but that's not going to do it.
I hope Heuer still has shot.
So as you take a look at the front of this house, even looking at a more extended view with all the guards and stuff in there, you don't really see much, but Heuer does now have more of an open draw to try and bite 4, at least get a good chunk of the 4 foot and try and get 2. There's a huge point to try and get here. It's not easy. That is a very difficult draw to more or less a 2 foot square or so patch of ice. Yeah. It's a shot that maybe I would be able to hit 3 out of 10 times or so. successfully.
You can still do more times than me. So.
Don't sell yourself short. All right, Laura Heuer's hammer is on its way.
Looks like it's pretty wide.
It's wide. They're waiting for it to come back, and it also looks a little heavy.
I'm not sure this is going to do it here.
No, it does not appear that way. That stone will slide away. But Heuer is on the board in the 5th.
So we've now got Stupera 6, Heuer 1, moving on into end number 6.
Hopefully that 1 is not just a moral victory. See if Heuer can get back in this game without hammer. So in order to do that, they will have to try and set up some guards early. Try and work those.
Quick scoring update on sheet A. Team Billup was able to take 1 in the 5th end. So at end number 6, it is Nichols at 6, Billup at 2.
All right. Millet's now sitting with 2 in the house over on sheet A, outside of the 12-foot circle.
Nice shot.
As they are in, looks like, second stones over there.
That first stone, I don't think it's going to make it.
Nope, that one looks
It's a
hogged. So Curtis hogged that one. A little bit of a annoyed grimace on Heuer's face as she pushes that stone back to the outside of the sheet.
Make sure it's here.
Stupera, meanwhile, looks like is trying to draw it in with his first.
I don't think it's got the weight. He needs to sweep it.
He's coming out there to help, but it looks like that'll rest as a corner guard.
Tantalizing.
Tis still pretty good, but really, if you have hammer and you're putting your first stone in the house, especially alongside, if you're able to get it into the 8-foot towards the side of the house, you're really making life miserable for the team without hammer, because now they have to deal with it. They have to do something with it. But that as a guard, Curtis is able to try and throw another guard himself. Yeah, trying to make sure this one clears the hog line. No guarantees there, though.
Slowing down mightily.
Yeah, I think it'll get over, though.
It's over.
So it's about a 1.5 guard. So it comes to rest just shy of the mixed doubles hash mark there.
Jack calling for a draw in.
Again, trying to draw in early with a big lead. Not let Laura set anything up.
Yeah, this has been Stupera's MO from end number 1.
Sure.
Take control of the house, lock it up in front, and suffocate Laura out.
But this time he has hammer and is elected to try and draw close to the button. But this shot will come to rest in the 8-foot circle, which is biting 8.
Just biting 8, but
Yeah.
it's got some pretty good cover from the redstone.
So now Laura will call for a freeze.
All right, you mentioned it. That's really
She's got the guard. The guard's her own stone. So here's Lisa Andrews' first stone.
Okay, now they're hard on it.
Looks like it's got the way, but it looks like it is cutting across and will miss the guard. Not quite freeze up, but is in the house. Into the top of the 12.
We think maybe 6 inches between the two stones.
Sure.
Not a total freeze, but I think it'll do the trick.
Well, if you're trying to set it up where you'll then go and like run back that red, tap it, and then have it be guarded, that's good. Looks like a peel of the top guard is on its way here for the Stupera rink. as that rock curls and actually misses and nicks the redstone that was just thrown. It's a little bit of a wry smile there on Jack Sapera as that start wondering about, you know, peeling guards.
Looks like Lauren is
Calling for a hack weight hit of the previous stone that Lisa just threw. Try and knock out that yellow stone and sit 2.
Best case scenario, the rock just thrown would roll behind that yellow guard.
That would be pretty nice. Have 2 of them in the house guard up, but it looks like this will move the yellow stone, but not have enough to keep it or knock it out. And that will sit overexposed along the right side of the sheet. So,
Not 100% what they were looking for.
no, but Sapera now again is going to try and peel away that guard, open up the front. Which is an interesting play, but with a lead, you can certainly afford to try and keep the front clean with hammer. Give yourself some options later. And what that shot actually did was not only peel the guard, but then the shooter bounced over and looks like it's covering up that shot rock. At least to some degree. Can't quite tell from my vantage point. Certainly it is enough of a nuisance where Laura's going to try and have Stacy take that out. The first vice stone of the end. Right, so Stacy throws up weight. That shot's away.
You gotta get it past that guard though.
They don't need to get it past the guard. They're looking to peel the guard. And it runs back. Just missing the shot rock. So it peels that guard away. Didn't quite get the run back that they were looking for.
Looks like Jack's going to try to take out that redstone at the top of the house.
That appears to be the play. Looks like he's asking for normal hit weight from Nancy Worth, his vice. Prepare for that. Looks like takeout weight is being thrown. Looks like about control. A little less than normal, and that is being worked on by the sweepers as it approaches the house, and it will roll over after it hits the redstone out of play and wind up sitting in the top of the 12-foot circle.
That's a nice shot.
Yeah.
Spreading out the yellow stones so that there's no chance for any doubles.
So now Laura's got a tough shot to play because Stacy's first wound up guarding that yellow stone.
It looks like, I believe the play was they're going to try to take out that outside yellow stone and flop back in towards the button.
They certainly could try that. That is exactly what Laura's calling for. Calling for bumper weight now. So they'll try and tag over that yellow stone and roll over their redstone to shot. Maybe bounce the other yellow stone in the process. Seeing what happens, but Stacy's second shot is heading down. They've swept it the entire way. And it does hit that yellow stone, but then only rolls over a little bit.
Yeah, not nearly as much action as they were expecting.
No. So it looks like they got a little more flush than what they wanted, instead of it nicking the that side. So looks like Sapera will take this out. They're working that stone hard. Again, like trying to go from the outside in on that sheet coming down is a lot of weight.
Just full 8, guys. It's all in your hands. Line's good.
And they wound up taking out that yellow shot rock in the process.
It's all
So
you.
now Red's actually
All
switching
you.
because that biter all the way out on the outside is going to count in.
It is crazy how those things can come into play. So now it'll be up to Heuer to try and figure out how to play this, maybe guard it. Or put one in the top of the house there. She could be setting it up because even though that shot rock is exposed, if you guard up the front, you're cutting off some draw lines.
Well, it's tough now. She needs points. She needs rocks in the house.
So it looks like that's what she's going to do. Try and throw right along the center line into the top 12. Set 3 for the moment. So Laura here sets up for her draw. Stacey got the broom right on the edge of the 12 foot. They do like it, but it looks like the weight's a little light. They are working it. Now they're off.
It's like it's an edge on it.
Get into the center line. But,
Looks like that's going to come to rest pretty much where they wanted. Right, just a little left where they wanted, but full 12. So very nice shot for Laura Heuer there.
yeah, I have to imagine she's happy with that.
Meanwhile, Stepera will go and try and take out the shot rock with his first stone. I imagine he's also going to try and roll behind some cover. There's some options there. There's the high guard, and you can also roll behind the shot that Laura just made.
Not sure if they're calling the hit and roll.
I think they hit and roll. Because you don't want to give Laura an opportunity to try and hit and roll hits. So
Very early.
they are. This is interesting because both the sweepers are using their sliders, so they're both on the same side of the rock. And it looks like they will hit and spill out. So Heuer is still sitting 2, even though they are on the outside of the scoring rings. So Heuer now trying to put one in the top of the house.
Just keep rocks spread out.
By doing this and not going that deep into the house with her shot, she would be able to sit 3, and a takeout would not necessarily make Stepera's shot. And if you're on the outside of the sheet there, it also takes away some draw lines. It'd be make it a little difficult for him to try and draw for 1. Especially the way that ice has been curling along that side. If you're able to actually get further along on the right side of the house, it would work out well for you.
Very much so.
So let's see what Heuer's up to.
Stone is away.
And they're calling for sweep for line, but now they're off of it. Looks like that weight is up.
Yeah, it looks a little heavy.
So not going to be the top of the house. We'll see if that stone will stick around at all. It looks like it won't.
And Jack's jumping on it, and it is through.
Yep.
Jack with the hammer.
So he's got hammer. It looks like he's going to try and hit and roll in.
Yeah.
He's going to try and hit and roll in with his final shot of the 6th end. So he's out counting that little biter on the left side there.
Now, why would you do that instead of trying to draw in from the right side?
Well, it could be a lot of different things. You could not really feel comfortable with your draw weight. You are drawing against 2, so even if you hit and spill or nose it and you're not shot, you're only giving up 1 as a steal, which is not terrible. But they are working it. In fact, that is hooking, and it will hit and spill out.
So it looks like it's going to be 1 red. It must be 1 red. That's the oldest.
That is 1 red. That is only rock in the house.
So that makes at the end of end number 6, we've got Sahara 6 and
All right.
also, a quick scoring update at the end of end number 5. Looks like Team Fallon minus Fallon was able to take 1 more point. So they're only down 4-3.
All right. Wow. Good game over there in Sheet D.
And at the end of end number 6, looks like Team Enixon in yellow on Sheet A. Team Enixon has stretched out their lead a little bit farther. I believe they took 1. Someone standing in front of the scoreboard.
All right, so we'll get your Sheet D update or Sheet A update in just a second. The cowbell was rang, so we definitely don't need more cowbell around here, but it does signal for the players to finish the end that they're on and play 1 more. Being that on Sheet C that they had finished their end before the bell had rang, so they'll definitely get 8 ends in if they so choose.
And that Sheet A update, Enixon did score 1 in the 6th end, so they're now up 7-2 in end number 7.
And it looks like Fallon minus Fallon and Robinson will only get 7 in. So they are still working on, looks like they're still working in the 6th end at the moment.
Yes. It's like 3 more stones there? No. No, more than that.
Yeah, they're just like about, they're on 2nd stones there in the 6th, so they'll play 7 ends. Meanwhile, in our feature game, we have a center guard set up.
Touch outside. Might be all right, though. Yeah, even if we vary back.
Comes Sahara's lead. Zoom looking for another guard.
More in the house for the draw. Again, trying that strategy. You know, he's got hammer, but he's got a big lead, so.
Make it pass. Just nicks the guard.
Nick the guard and spread them out. So Heuer now will try and use that guard, draw behind it. If Lisa Andrew is short, it winds up being a center guard in front of the house, which is definitely not the worst thing in the world. Again, good, just like the last end, try and build up that front, get some stones in. Get a little lucky bounce here and there.
Laura likes the line. They need a little bit more weight.
Looks like Laura is calling for a lot of sweeping here. They've come up.
Finishing behind the guard.
So very nice stone for Lisa Andrew.
Here comes Brian Damon with his first stone. I believe I heard Jack calling for the guard.
Well, it looks like they're trying to do a soft takeout of that shot stone. That's the plan anyways. But they are sweeping it. They've come up. And they will, in fact, get the takeout. Spill out the shooter, but that's fine. Very nice shot. So now Laura's going to go and ask for that shot to be put back.
Supers are right on him.
Looks like that one is curling a little bit more than the previous shot. But they are, in fact, past the guard. And they will work that stone, or at least Jack will work that stone out of the rings, or maybe biting.
Can't quite tell.
So they will peel away that guard to try and remove the protection there. And now Laura's going to try and put one in the top of the 12. That'll act as one that might count as a scoring point, but then also something that they could try and draw behind later on. So Stacy's first shot is on. Head down now.
That might be a touch heavy.
It definitely looks heavy.
Yep.
That too will be swept out. Again, making the comeback a little bit difficult here in 7th.
It's tough to come back when you're getting stones away.
Isn't it? So now it's time for Vice Stones from Nancy Worth. And they're looking to, looks like, draw in. That stone will actually just wind up being a guard after all of that sweeping. So they're trying to figure out what to do from here. They'll try and draw behind, so Stacy's second shot will now be behind cover. At least that's the plan. That is, and they are sweeping it all the way. See how deep that's going to wind up. That is a very nice shot, winding up in the top 8 foot.
Either one.
Guarded up by the yellow. It looks like there's enough room where they could choose to hit and roll if they so desired.
Looks like he's trying to play with all that curl on that sheet. See if he can just poke out that red stone. Instead, they got the guard.
That's a tough shot.
All right.
It is, though, in that situation, if you're able to clear the guard, it's much more of a desirable thing, as you would be able to open it up. But as it stands, now you still have one behind cover. So now Laura can decide how she wants to try and, again, play for a a steal. At this point, you really need a steal at multiple points, though.
Yeah, with only 2 ends left and down 4, she's going to need multiple points here.
She needs to be a better thief than Carmen Sandiego, that's for sure.
I love those games.
Wait, you too young for those?
No, I said I love those games.
Oh, I thought you said I don't know those games. I'm like, all right.
Kidding, I grew up on Carmen Sandiego.
Nice. Through the magic of the internet, I've been playing them again. All right, so it looks like Heuer's going to try something similar to what she did in the previous end and put a stone on the top of the 12-foot circle along the center line. We hope you all have been enjoying this coverage of the first draw here at the Cherry Blossom Bonspiel from the Potomac Curling Club. Lovely Laurel, Maryland, as Laura Heuer throws her first skip stone without hammer, down 4 points in the 7th end. It looks like that shot is looking to go almost exactly where she wants it to.
Looks like it just tapped her own.
But it did, so it tapped the red.
Looks like it's right on the center line.
Yeah, but now it leaves at least a takeout of 1, possibly a double on the way.
Let's see what Jack Sparrow has up his sleeve for his first skip.
I swear, I think you almost called him Jack Sparrow.
He does look a little roguish.
Yeah, but he's not quite Johnny Depp.
No.
No.
Not so much. Maybe if you grew a mustache.
Maybe. Long hair. All right, his first takeout is on its way. It's amazing on Cheat C just how much the weight really is and the curl is.
Oh, yeah. It's curling like a madman.
But that will take out 1 and 2. So
Very
double
nice
takeout there.
Very nice double.
So now Heuer is going to try and hit and roll. See if there's any way to put that stone under cover. It's very difficult.
Oh, yes.
There's not really a lot up front. And you're asking it to roll a long way. Looks like the 7th end is complete over on sheet A. We'll get a scoring update there soon.
Yeah, there it is. And Team Phoenix in yellow has taken 2 points on sheet A on the 7th end. So going into the 8th end, it is now 9-2 in favor of Team Phoenix and over Team Millet.
All right. So Enixon basically has to take 2 Millet stones out of play to seal up that victory. Coming down, scoring 7 with a little difficult there.
Not unheard of, but pretty tricky.
Yes, I've been on a team that did not steal 7, but had 7 stolen against. Yeah, so it's happened many, many times. But usually in the 8th end, it's a little difficult to do that. All right, so here's Laura's last stone of the 7th end.
Likes the line so far.
They are trying to work it as hooking towards the outside.
There's a lot
So
of
they're
curl heading that way.
working it. The stone will hit, and it will roll. Not exactly behind cover, but definitely a very nice shot. Does look like it's peeking out a bit.
Still going to be a tough shot for Sparrow.
Well, it looks like he's going to call for the draw. Looks like he's not going to mess around. He's going to draw. Try and take his 1 here in the 7th. Get a 5-point lead going into the 8th. So let's see what he does. with his hammer here in the 7th end of this contest. Nice stable delivery.
He's calling the sweepers on.
Yeah, both sweepers working both the same side. And it looks like they certainly have the line. Now let's see about the weight, as that will come to rest in the 4-foot circle, just outside the button.
Very nice.
Very nice clutch draw there with the hammer for 1 point to take a 7-2 lead here through 7 ends. So looks like Heuer has a pretty big mountain to climb, 5 points in the 8th end.
Not unheard of, but still very, very tough.
Very difficult. So see what happens here. We're in the A event, also known as the Yoshino Cherry event. All the events are named after different cherry trees here at the Cherry Blossom. Unfortunately, the cherry blossoms are not yet out here in DC, as we've had a winter we'll soon not forget here in the DC area.
Don't forget it because it won't leave.
Yes, it's not letting us. It's not letting us forget. You are correct. It's still here. Okay, so it looks like the first stone for Stepera is thrown through. Meanwhile, Heuer has an opportunity to try and set up a guard. A lot of different theories about 8th end play, especially with such a big lead. Do you have your lead throw both through? Do you have just throw one? What do you try and do?
By the way, on sheet A, it looks like they are shaking. So Team Enixon in yellow has taken the win over Team Millet on sheet A.
So chalk up that. So Enixon will move on to play the winner of a game that will be played tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
That lead stone goes to corner guard.
All right, so do what you got to do there. So looks like Stepera will throw his first one through, and now on his second lead stone, asked to draw or not.
Not a lot of sense in leaving things.
So it looks like that stone will make it
Looks like that's heading through as well.
through the house. He's willing it through. I'm not always a proponent of having your first two go through. I mean, you're essentially giving the other team 2 free stones.
Right. Well, the main strategy there would be pretty much to not bunk up the house.
Sure. I mean, you're much better off trying to draw in.
Yeah, give your opponent a tougher shot, I think.
Well, at that point, you're making them need to hit, or you're making them need to deal with a stone that's in play with a big lead, as opposed to being able to set up the strategy here, as Curtis's second lead stone touches the 12-foot, so it's a biter, and it can be removed from play. Well, it could have anyways, because it's the 4th stone thrown this end. So they will try and do just that, try and peel away that. As that is the name of the game. It's just removing your opponent's stones. And that'll be successful as it peels out.
And spells out on their own.
Yep. So you get to this point in the game, and you just start counting down.
Oh, yes.
You got to take out roughly 4 stones. Once you get your 4th stone out of play, opponents are out of rocks.
Yep. Quick scoring update on sheet D. Team Fallon minus Fallon is able to take 2 in the 6th end. They now have the lead over Team Robinson 5-4.
All right, so maybe we'll do a little bonus coverage after this game and take it to the conclusion of that match. Though this one still has something left in it.
A little bit of drama.
A little bit. as Lisa Andrews' first shot just papers the guard and goes right behind it, settles nicely in the 12-foot circle.
Just biting the 8, it looks like.
Yep. Very good shot.
Same shot, same weight.
Jack calling for the exact same shot as last time.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying for a little board weight, hook around and pluck it out. Reminds me of my favorite line that a lead said to me when he said, "This stone offends my skip. I must remove it." However, in this case, it was a miss, so that's where it all begins.
Oh, yes.
It all begins on one missed shot. I mean, yeah, you're down by 5, but you can make something happen now.
Yeah, Perez already sent 3 stones already through the house.
Well, Lisa.
You know, without any consequence whatsoever.
So now what Heuer's going to try and do is draw one ahead in front of Lisa's first stone of that end. Try and set up something in the house, get at least 2 so far. And that one is being swept for line and for weight.
Let's see if he can get around that guard.
It will
Just
indeed
barely.
get past that guard, but doesn't have enough finish. It will freeze up. Hits it a little bit.
It freezes up, but he's calling for the double.
Yeah, now you got double now. At least you can get to it. You can certainly whack the right side of that red stone and
very much so.
Get them both.
And Nate's has been generally on point with the shots tonight.
So it's a little bit of an upweight hit. Looks like it is curling. They are sweeping. And again, it's going to crash there on the guard and sit there. So again, this is that 8th end play where all of a sudden, you know, things can happen. You're never really out of it. If the team with a lead doesn't exactly make its shots. So now, if you're Heuer, you have a lot of decisions. You're trying to figure out how to get another. You need to get basically 3 more stones in there. So.
And with only, what, 4 stones left in your arsenal.
So there's not a lot of cover that you can really make.
Looks like she's trying to draw in again.
Right behind that yellow guard. So here's Stacy's first shot, and that is curling quite a bit. In fact, it looks like it's going to go and either nestle up right next to that guard, which it will. So good news, you have both those stones somewhat guarded, at least mostly, if not all guarded.
Yeah, pretty well protected.
There is, but there is a path to try and get to that outside stone. But these are the shots that really drive you mad, trying to broom an outside takeout on ice you haven't really thrown on. 100% sure what it's going to do, so here's Nancy. They're working it. But looks like they have at least one of the red stones.
Yes, it's clear the guards, and yes, got the back red.
So it's got the back stone. There's one now left in the house. So now with only one in the house and only 3 more to play.
Lisa's going to need to get every single stone in the house. Oh, and they're shaking.
Yeah.
They're
the math is not there.
No.
I don't think you can get this guy in.
You know, I mean, you could.
I'm not gonna touch
You have 5 stones in play, but or you could have 5 stones in play, but that's just not going to happen. All right, so there's handshakes there on sheet C. As the Stapera rink, with a number of very solid ends and solid steals there in the beginning of the game, defeats the Heuer rink Looks like by a final score of 7-2.
And now we're going to take you over to sheet D.
All right, so let's go and reposition the camera there for some sheet D action.
Once again, this is Team Robinson, who is working the Redstones, and Team Fallon minus Fallon, I believe was being skipped by Brian Breen right now, yes?
Yep, they're on Yellowstones.
Team Fallon currently has the lead after 6 ends, 5-4.
So looks like they're on Vice Stones now. And we'll take a look here at the house currently for sheet D. It looks like Breen, or the Fallon rink, has a stone in the top of the 4-foot circle, just biting it, sitting shot right now. And the Robinson.
Looks like Robinson is biting 8. And it looks like
The Robinson rink there is trying to take out that stone. It's very much exposed. So this is Courtney Shaw throwing it, hitting that yellow stone, but then it jams. But now the Robinson rink is sitting, looks like 2, looks like 3 possibly.
I mean, I am in DC. I'm just not exactly.
So we are now, looks like down to about skip stones. As Brian Breen is trying to set up his first shot. There's a little bit of cover there in front of the house. So Breen can draw to that 8-foot if he so chooses behind cover. See what he can do. His objective now is try and prevent Robinson from scoring multiple points this end. Can keep him to 1, and then go to an extra end and take hammer. So it appears that he's going to try and draw. As they are getting prepared here. Breen explaining to his front end what the shot's going to be.
all right, and looks like he is just about ready.
So here is Brian Breen acting as Jimmy Fallon tonight with his first skip stone. And it looks to be about draw weight. They are working it now. They're trying to will that rock into scoring position, but it looks like it's coming short, and it'll end up as a guard. So it's going to be difficult because, of course, Robinson is currently sitting 2, which, as you can imagine, is all he needs to win this game. And he's only down 1.
Yeah, right there.
I think it needs to be open though because he's
You're wide open right there in the middle. Right here. Right.
So now there's some discussion as to what Robinson's first shot should be. It looks like both Shaws, Melvin and Courtney, are discussing. Melvin is yelling down from the opposite end. And I think they've settled upon drawing to the top of the house and leaving it exposed. Looks that way. Looks like about top of the 8 circle along the center line. Again, trying to make it really difficult for Breen to make a play and cut him down to 1, or be shot himself and steal. So Robinson readies himself. And his first stone is delivered.
They're sweeping it immediately.
They're on it. Looks a little light.
Yeah, it's going to need some love to get it where they want it to go.
So even with all that sweeping, it looks like it's going to settle as a guard.
Yep.
Short of the house. Looks like about a 2 guard. So now that gives Breen a little more options. He's now got a center guard to work with. If we can pull up the house cam, let's see what Breen's trying to set up. Another play that they're discussing down there is an in-off. Would be a smart play. Looks like that's exactly what they are going to do. Or they're going to drive, and didn't quite catch what he had planned to do. Our view of the opposite end of sheet D is not fantastic.
No, it's not.
So, all right, well, here's Breen's shot. He must, at the very least, cut him down to 1 to force Robinson to throw another one. The miss would end the game. And it looks like about hack weight.
Staying off of it for now.
They're off of it. They're looking to try and get that angle.
Looks like it's going to slip the guard.
So it's past the guard. And it will hit off that red stone very nicely and wind up right on the button.
Beautiful.
So can't quite tell how buried that shot rock is. Maybe if we get a wide view of the sheet. Let's see if we can take a look at the far end house cam. Pull that up for you. Yeah, that's still not a great view. It's hard to tell. It looks like they're going to come out the other way, though.
I think as long as we miss the yellow guard, we're good.
So it looks like they're going to try and take it out. They think that there's a port on that. Just there's a port right between the red and the yellow guards up front. So there's probably enough of a port just to go and knock it out. So here is the last game of this draw.
If they were able to clear that yellow stone and score at least 2 points, Robinson would take the win.
That would be it. It's pretty simple, isn't it? It's a simple game. You knock his stone out, you win. All right, so Robinson's hammer is being thrown. Courtney immediately screams for it to be swept.
She wants it.
It looks as though it will hit the guard. So Breen, who's not Jimmy Fallon, will pick up the win for Team Fallon, as they will move on in the Yoshino Cherry event, the A event here at the Cherry Blossom Bonspiel. And they will move on to play they'll move on to play the winners of tomorrow's 9 a.m. draw. So hopefully Team Fallon, or Jimmy Fallon himself, will be able to make it by 6:30 tomorrow night. That's when their next game will be. And Robinson will drop to the B event, if you will, or the Kwanzan Cherry event. My Japanese is a little rusty. You'll have to forgive me. All right, so all the games have been completed here on the first draw of the Cherry Blossom Bonspiel.
But don't worry, folks. We've got 4 more games coming up at 9:30.
Yep, we have 9:30 draw coming up. However, I will be taking leave. We're going to turn into the we'll turn over to the capable hands of Mike Sell and someone else. That sound good?
quick roundup of all of tonight's events so far for the 7:30 draw, or the 7:15 draw. Team Enixon defeated Team Millet 9-2. Sheet B, unfortunately, was a forfeit in favor of our Heuer.
Yep, looks like looks like Nichols was not able to make it.
That's too bad. Team Stupera was able to take out the other Team Heuer, Lower Heuer, 7-2 on Sheet C. And we just watched the end of Sheet D's game where Team Fallon, minus Fallon, being capably skipped by Brian Breen, was able to win against Team Robinson.
And in the pickup game over on Sheet B, I think Team Dobbs was victorious. There you go. All right, so wrapping up our coverage from the first draw here, the Cherry Blossom. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed the coverage, and stay tuned. We've got more in just a little bit.